Hi there, my name is Raph, and I like to build model kits. And this is the Kotobukiya Crossframe Girl Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl. So, what is a crossframe girl? Well, a crossframe girl is an offshoot of an offshoot, because Kotobukiya makes a line of model kits known as the Frame Arms, which are kind of like their competition for Gundam. They're big mechanical, mechs that have all sorts of weaponry and whatnot. And they make another line of kits known as the Frame Arms Girls, which take a lot of the elements of these various mechs and attach them to cute anime girls. So, when they made the Cross Frames Girls, which there isn't a whole lot of them as of right now, but they took the elements of their Frame Arms Girls, being their cute anime girls, and mixed them with other franchises like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Transformers, and Gao Gai Gar. So, as of right now, I believe that Bandai owns the rights to making the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, but at the time this kit was made, which is about 2020, I believe Kotobukiya might have reached out to Konami, or Konami reached out to Kotobukiya to have them design the Dark Magician Girl. Considering on the fact that they were already making the Frame Arms Girls, and they were kind of a success, so it made the most sense to give the more or less cute anime girl from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise over to a company who's already making a bunch of anime girl model kits, and they did really well with this kit. So for accessories with this kit, not only do you get the Dark Magician Girl, but you also get her stand, an additional stand which has a arm that can hold the Spellbook of Secret Arts, or you can swap it out for this small stand here that can hold the book in a closed position, or it can just hold her staff. An additional neck, a yellow piece for the back of her head in case you don't want her to wear her hat, I believe an additional waist joint, an additional pentagram for the center of her outfit, an additional wrist, 4 sets of different hands from pointer, holding, open, and relaxed open, a different set of hair that's sweeping more towards the left as opposed to the one to the right, and a hat to correspond with that. There's only one top though, so you'd have to swap out the tops. You also get her default face, which is just a looking to the left with a slight smug smile, winking, attack, and a scared face. One other thing that came with some of the kits, but not all of them, was this acrylic piece that actually has, I believe, the name of the attack being Dark Magic Attack and her attack and defense stats. But there's nowhere to actually plug it in on this kit, nor is there even a base for this. Outside of that, one other thing that I thought was a bit weird that it didn't come with was a blank face, because they actually give you additional eyes and even blushing, like for the cheek, but you would have to take the decals off of one of these faces that it already comes with in order to use these, unless you have additional faces that will plug right into this one. But if you don't, you're left with a handful of eyes but no face to attach them to. So if you decide you're going to swap out the face, it's actually real easy. Like, once you take the hat off, you separate the hair, remove the face, and you're left with this monstrosity. But line the parts up, plug the hair back in, and then reattach the hat with the corresponding hair. So let's get into the articulation. So the head can move around on a ball joint. It has a bit of a neck wiggle. She can do a whole 360, but the hair and the shoulders do tend to get in the way. Arms can extend out this far before you have to lift up part of the... So you get about that far. Elbow has pretty decent bend, considering that it's armored. Wrist can do a full 360. And the hands are on a hinge, so you can either get it to go up and down, or if you can rotate the peg, you can get side to side. Shoulders can go down about that far, move back about that far before they get in the way, move forward about this far before they get in the way. And it's the same thing on the other side. The wrist gauntlets themselves can actually do a full 360. There's a little bit of a waist, or a chest articulation. This is actually just a hard piece of plastic, so it won't let you go too far forward. But back, it's got no problem. And yeah, there are a few parts that'll kind of pop off. She can do about that much on both sides. Legs can move forward about that far, can move back about that far. Knees are on a double bend. Thighs can do a full 360. You can get about that much of a split before the cape or the skirting gets in the way. Her boots can move around full 360. The top part of them can move around full 360. Feet can pivot down that far, pivot up that much. One side and the other side. So when you need to swap out the hands, because they're on those little pegs, you can actually just barely pull them off sometimes. Sometimes the whole wrist will actually just come right out with it and you'll have to separate it from the hand. But you can see there's this little hole in the peg, plugs right in. And then you can give her back her staff. So let's say you don't want her to look to the right. You want to look to the left. You can pull off the hat, swap out her face for her, there it is, left facing face. And you can either put the hair swept to the right or swept to the left, and then you'll have to put on the base to her other hat, and then remove this whole upper section right down to here. And I know that the tip came off, and plug that into the back, and there. So if I had to give this kit a rating, I would probably rate it at either an 8 or a 9. It's a fun build, it's different, and it does come with a good amount of accessories. Granted, I wish it came with an attack accessory, but none of the frame arms girls come with them anyway, so it's understandable why the Crossframe didn't either. But the options of faces and hands, even the hair and her hat, is all really cool. I do wish it at least came with a blank face for the decals, because if you wanted to change up the face, you have to take all the paint off of one of the existing faces just to put decals on it. And I feel like they could have at least thrown in a blank face. Outside of that, the copy I got, where it came with the attack and everything, I wish that had a base for it as well, because there's no base, so it somehow has to balance, which I don't think is going to happen. But outside of that, this is actually a really good kit, and it's a lot of fun. So if you do get the chance, or if you really like the Dark Magician Girl and you want to get a Dark Magician Girl model kit, I'd say definitely go for it. Like, she's fun to build, she has as much articulation as she really needs. Like, sure, don't get me wrong, the double knee bend on a human body, it obviously looks a little bit weird because it's a model kit, but this is still a really good kit for anyone who's a fan of Dark Magician Girl, a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, or just wants to kind of try something a little bit different. And yeah, I'd say if you're interested, definitely go for this one. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you have a question about this model, please leave a comment. Or if you know someone who might be interested in this model, please share this with them. I would greatly appreciate that. And I will see you on the next one. Later.